Welcome back, everybody, to round 2 of the 2020 Wanderlust Open, presented by Wander Disc Golf, 1717 Brewing, and Prodigy Discs. Again, I'm Brian Earhart, bringing you some solo commentary on this awesome day in Iowa. We moved to Pickard Park in the Des Moines area. It's actually in Indianola, Iowa, more specifically. Jordan shot fantastic at Ewing, shot an 8 down. I'm 1 behind him at 7. Terry and Gannon are 1 off each other, 5 down and 4 down respectively. Moving into hole number 1 of Pickard, which is definitely the longer course of the two. This one eases you into the course, 312 feet. There's a hyzer line, there's a straight line. There's really not much danger here. But Pickard has a lot more true par 4s and par 5s out here, so the scoring is going to be a bit more varied.
Bang 2 jumpers. Yeah. Let's go. Catch an edge.
Jordan coming out a little bit low with that fireball. The weather did warm up quite a bit. It was really refreshing to be able to take off all the layers we had in the morning. And I'm trying to go sidearm with a force, and I threw it like a comet. So it hyzered out a little bit early. How about pin high?
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
And Terry farted. He did. It was really bad. It was actually a bit alarming, to be honest. Shame on you, Terry.
And they always wonder why I do so well here.
Terry going Onyx. And a nice shot from him. And this is Gannon's home course. This is where he says he plays the most. So I was really anticipating some of the lines he was going to throw out here. And his hyzer is right next to the basket.
Whoa. That like jumped out of my hand right when I threw it. The wind kind of like lifted it more than I thought.
Yep.
And 2 textbook birdies, 1 average birdie, and a par. And we're moving into hole number 2. We turned hole number 2 into an island after one of the big trees that blocked this basket fell down. So turned it into an island, made it pretty standard OB rules, missed the island, go to a drop zone. Pretty forgiving island, 271 feet. There wasn't that much wind on that day. And I'm going back to the Tsunami. I actually have switched back to throwing Tsunamis from the Raptor. There's just a very comfortable hand feel that I just really needed when I was throwing these forehands, so it's been nice to throw these again.
No.
Terry going zone, and he thought this was going to go out of bounds. There was a tiny crosswind, but not really enough to shove it. That is an FX2 from Gannon, and that is parked. And that one, the crosswind actually did affect and push down, but luckily the Wander walls were not strong enough to handle his tee shot. Unfortunate putt there from Jordan.
What is that? Oh, is it? Dickerson was letting me feel his. And for me, this is the
Hole number 3, first par 4 of the round, 628 feet uphill the whole way. Not much danger to worry about. There are some trees on the left side that can catch you if you really shank your second shot, but it's really just throw it as far as you can straight and get up and down for the birdie. And I'm going Zeus here. And I was so close to getting the turn that I wanted, but still put enough on it to where it was in a decent spot. And Terry throws the nuke better than almost anyone I've ever met. It's such a big rimmed disc that it's actually very hard to control the movement of it, but the potential for distance on a nuke is huge. So kudos to him for putting the time in with that disc. Gannon's turns over a little bit too much, but not too bad of a position. The first 3 holes out here, you really want to get pretty much all of them. They're all pretty straightforward, par 3s and par 4s. And Jordan's hoping to capitalize after missing the first 2, and that is a great flight.
Octane?
No, panic. Oh no, don't hit it. 25. Yeah. I'll go.
Nice zone flick there from Terry. Jordan throwing the MVP equivalent of the zone, the entropy, tiny bit short.
No flex.
And there's another zone.
Get up. You. So great.
And it seems like Jordan that day just had so many putts that came out of his hand looking really good and just didn't quite have enough pop behind it. And it was kind of heartbreaking to watch all the putts he missed with how well he was throwing. Me and Terry snagged the lone birdies in the card. Moving into hole number 4, 309 feet, par 3. This one just hops up and over this hill, and it's tucked right back of the corner by the tree line and the water behind it. Righties are going to want to throw some sort of soft turnover or some sort of spiking flick that hopefully hits a more dense patch of grass, because there is the rollaway potential into the lake there. And I'm going with a Ringer GT. It's kind of my distance control driving putter. You really can't throw it too far. That's about as far as I can get it. Terry's following pretty much my line with a zone. And there was a lot of thick grass out here on this course. It does look mowed, but the skips were not as big as you'd think they'd be. Nice catch there on the basket. And me and Terry have been going back and forth this round. We haven't missed a hole yet. We're both feeling pretty good. And I do know that Terry is within striking distance. And we got kind of a tight race here moving into hole number 5. 422 feet. Downhill par 3, righties are going to throw a pretty standard power hyzer over the water. crash it next to the basket by these trees off to the left. Lefties have the chance to go straight at the basket or throw a very wide power hyzer way off to the left, and we did have a crosswind going left to right that day. And I'm going with a little bit more overstable Zeus. My goal was to have that crosswind lifted over. And it did. Great shot there from Terry. Similar to Terry's, a little bit too far left, but crashed just to the edge of circle one. And Jordan makes the correction on all of our shots. And that's the stall hyzer I was kind of thinking of for the righties. Ouch. That was one of the worst cut-throughs that I've seen in a long time. It even suspended in the chains before falling out the back. And I don't even give it a chance to cut through. Oops.
Yeah, Derek, good job. Dang, they don't cut those trees. Good job, Jordan. You know what? They put a sign up.
Hole number 6, par 4, 573 feet. Tall grass on the left side all the way down is out of bounds, and the basket tucks back into the right into those trees out there. Pretty standard. Throw as far as you can straight, put it in play, and get up and down for the birdie. And Terry's flicking a nuke here. And this was juiced. This was one of the longest flicks that I have seen in a long time. That was large. Jordan trying to go a bit more textbook and just throw a straight backhand, but that one got away from him a little bit. He's off to the right there. And that's jail. I know I'm not going to 2 the hole, even if I throw as far as I can, so I just wanted to put a safe hyzer out there. And just take the 3. And it looked like Gannon was trying to just turn it over and potentially give himself a look for the 2.
Very good throw.
Still a little bit short, but should be a pretty easy up and down for him.
Great touch.
Ringer?
Great touch. Yeah.
The ringer sticks next to the basket, and Jordan is going to have to sneak his way out of Narnia here. And I don't even know what gap he's looking at.
Kinda.
And he's out. I can tell Gannon is trying to run this. Bit of a misfire. And Terry absolutely wants this. Good up and down there from Jordan. That right side in this hole is very challenging to get out of, so not too bad.
I'll grab it just in case.
Yeah, I don't mess with these old baskets. I don't mess with these, so I've seen too many sad things happen.
Moving quickly into hole number 7. Uphill, par 3, 300 feet, no out of bounds, we decided. And Ty, the owner of Wander Disc Golf, gave us a $100 ace bounty on this hole. So we were definitely running the basket. Terry going Onyx.
You know, that might be 100 short.
Sheesh.
Line looked good, distance was a little bit short. And I'm going faster disc here. I definitely want the ace money here.
Come on.
Oh. That looked even closer on camera.
Smart play. Long grass OB?
No.
You can't call. Spike. Wait, what? OB. OB.
Dude, that's
Good
like,
fairway shot.
They're saying
like
OB.
European Open.
We did decide against going out of bounds in the tall grass just for the ace bounty.
Yeah, Derek, good job.
Great putt from Terry.
Those putters have a nice cut at the
Yeah.
end of the play. I like that.
There's some pace on that putt from Jordan. No aces on the card, but we did have a nice star birdie. Moving into hole number 8. This is a very Ewing-esque hole. Another very long, challenging, yet gettable par 3, 584 feet, downhill the whole way, tucked back into the tree line. There is an OB creek right behind the basket, but there is a lot of opportunity here to put it up for a birdie putt.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm going Zeus here. I was trying to go for the birdie, and I was 5 feet too low.
So is it water over here? Yeah.
Going safe, aggressive. What about taking mom out to dinner? We're going to 3 Michelin stars tonight.
And Gannon still smokes this hyzer. He actually put it pretty decently up there.
Running my having fun here. OB. I was scared. Oh.
Terry after the worm burner. Tried to flick that zone on some Annie, and I think that one's seasoning a bit for him. Turned over a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. Is that base plastic?
And that did a little bit of the opposite. Terry with his beat up zone.
Shot, Terry.
Good touch. I'm very ashamed to say that I was running the basket on that one. Should be an easy putt for 3. Gannon's run a little bit more respectable. There we go, Jordan. Great putt. Hole number 9, par 3, 325 feet, blind basket, and it just goes straight up this hill and flattens out right at the top. Righties are going to be throwing just kind of a slow drifting mid-range to the right or some sort of flex sidearm, and then lefties can just kind of throw mid-range straight at it. Kind of a weird depth perception hole just because you can't really see the basket. And I'm going buzz here. And that one felt good.
Yeah, boy.
A little right.
Cut roll ace.
A little bit too much turn from Gannon, but he's about pin high. And I was saying how simple Jordan keeps his disc selection, and that was the one disc that I did not have the chance to identify that he threw some sort of mid-range. Terry flicking a machete up there, a little bit short right. Still about 35, 40. Ouch. There's a good putt from Jordan.
I said no.
Is that what you were like?
And that was the front 9 of round 2 of the Wanderlust Open. I am in the lead by 3 here. Jordan and Terry are at 11 down. Gannon's at 9. We will see how this finishes up. We will see you on the back 9.